You say tomato, we say check this out before you buy another can. Like organic, from Italy, or not tasting like metal? We ranked 16 canned tomato brands from worst to first, with a top 5 that's quite appealing. Contadina launched in 1918 with California-grown tomatoes that tasted like the ones in Italy. Today, the company's fresh Roma tomatoes are non-GMO and packaged in non-BPA cans.
Just mix and in minutes, delicious homemade sauce.
But some of Contadina's line is packed with the tomato peel, like their fire-roasted and crushed tomatoes. We're not fans of having to strain the tomatoes to remove the bitter skins and then losing some of the tomato pulp. Though most Contadina products contain only fruit sugars, the taste is unnaturally sweet compared to other brands. That oddly candied flavor landed this one last on our list. We had high hopes for Hunt's. The company has been packaging tomatoes from California since 1888 and uses 100% of every fruit. They offer dozens of options, including diced, whole, and crushed, along with a line of meal starters.
Having Hunt's in your cupboard is like having your own tomato garden.
Hunt's products feature fresh tomatoes that are steam peeled to remove the skins. Still, while tasting Hunt's diced tomatoes, we notice an oddly bitter metallic taste masking the tomato flavor. The fruit texture was firm, but the tomatoes didn't break down when cooking, which isn't great for sauce. Hunt's landed at number 15 for its bitter metal taste. Walmart's Great Value brand is often a reliable bargain, and their Great Value tomatoes come in every style imaginable, including salsa, fire-roasted, and even an organic line. The company states that the tomatoes are picked and packaged on the same day for optimal freshness. But when we tried them, the tomatoes lacked any notable depth of rich flavor. The ratio of juice to tomatoes was higher than in other brands and tasted thin and watery. Though we love a good deal, the overall weak taste earns Great Value a solid number 14. Del Monte has been hustling canned veggies since 1886. Today, in addition to offering tomatoes as crushed, diced, paste, and sauce, the company is also known for its canned stewed tomatoes. These tomatoes add a rich, slow-cooked flavor to stews and sauces. Del Monte's tomatoes are indeed flavorful, but several of their products feature high sugar and sodium, with some listing high fructose corn syrup. While sugar is sometimes necessary to cut the tomato's natural acidity, we prefer adding it ourselves, landing Del Monte at number 13. Ro-Tel introduced his canned tomato and green chili combo to Texans in 1943, and by the early 60s, Ro-Tel tomatoes were available nationwide. A can of Ro-Tel is also an essential ingredient in homemade queso. The tomato and green chili pepper combo adds that signature heat and tang, but the brand comes in at number 12 on our list because the green chili peppers incorporated into every product limits their use to recipes that call for a spicy kick. In 1896, 3 wholesalers in San Francisco joined forces to create S&W Premium Foods, and over 125 years later, they're still on the beat. The brand features crushed, ready-cut, petite diced, and stewed, but stewed tomato recipes don't often include sugar, which S&W adds in the form of high fructose corn syrup. Still, S&W hits at number 11 because we're into their other options, like their Italian recipe crushed tomatoes. Along with dried oregano and basil, S&W adds black pepper and anise, giving the tomatoes a peppery, herbal fennel note, which is mighty delicious. Creating canned tomatoes that taste great while being good for the environment is Glen's manifesto. All of their products are non-GMO and USDA organic certified, using only organic produce, herbs, and seasonings. Of course, that quality comes at a price. Compared to other organic producers, Glen is among the most expensive domestic tomato brands you can buy. The company sets its sights on an extensive list of offerings, including over a dozen fire-roasted flavors, which makes a delicious charred tomato salsa. While the large organic selection is impressive, the overall taste is comparable to other less expensive options. Given that the brand costs more than others, Glen gets a number 10 ranking. Kroger's USA-grown non-GMO tomatoes are available in various options, including fire-roasted, chili-ready, and the standards like crushed and diced, with lower prices than most name brands.
crushed tomato and fresh basil. Hold.
Kroger fire-roasted diced tomatoes served spicy, savory, and smoky flavor, but some of the peels had a charred taste that added a campfire vibe, but also brought a slight bitterness to the tomatoes. They weren't exactly the best, but the quality was better than many name brands, especially for the price. For that, Kroger got a solid number 9. Private Selection is Kroger's gourmet line. All sorts of goodies fall under the label, along with San Marzano-style whole-peeled tomatoes with basil. They're not Italy's certified San Marzano tomatoes, but they feature a rich, freshly harvested flavor enhanced by fresh basil. The whole tomatoes were mostly intact, nestled in a thick and flavorful tomato juice. Though the flavor can't compete with authentic San Marzanos, Private Selection provides a great-tasting tomato product at an affordable price compared to many Italian counterparts, ranking this one a number 8. We all love Costco house brand products, and Kirkland Signature's diced tomatoes come with an easy-to-open pop top for roughly $1 per can. While the diced tomatoes have a fresh flavor, some cans have bits of green or yellow tomatoes. The color indicates the fruit was packaged before it was fully ripe, keeping Kirkland Signature a number 7 on our list. Costco also stocks certified San Marzano tomatoes throughout the year, which again makes Kirkland Signature a solid bet. The Costco line also features basil leaf, which adds depth to the overall flavor. We love the taste of DeLallo canned tomatoes. The specialty Italian grocer started in Pennsylvania in 1950, and today it produces more than 200 Italian and Italian-style products, including olives, pasta, and canned tomatoes from fruit grown in Italy and California. DeLallo San Marzano certified tomatoes are packaged whole by law and never crushed or diced. The ingredients are simple: tomatoes, juice, and one of the lowest amounts of salt we tried. There was a balance between the rich juice and tender fruit, with minimal seeds and 0 peels.
At the heart of every great Italian meal are just a few simple ingredients.
This one's the priciest in our ranking, knocking it out of the top 5. Still, these tomatoes had a homegrown freshness, with meaty sweetness and balanced acidity that was heavenly in a garlic and herb tomato sauce. Making organic, plant-based foods accessible to all is the mission of Take Root Organics. With an eye on affordability, the company's prices are in line with many typically less expensive, non-organic name brands. Options from the brand are limited, offering only a handful of common cuts, including diced and crushed, with a few available without added salt. But those with salt still had some of the lowest amounts of sodium that we tried. The tomatoes tasted fresh, clean, and authentic. The diced tomatoes had a firm texture straight out of the can, perfect in a pot of chicken chili. While we wish Take Root Organics offered more products, their overall quality lands the brand in our top 5. Colavita has Italian pantry staples on lock. Starting in Italy in 1938, the company began exporting its products worldwide in 1979, including its Colavita Premium Selection, one of the best olive oils for cooking. Since tomatoes appear in many Italian meals, adding a line of tomato products was a natural move. Offerings include USDA certified organic and commercially grown options, including San Marzano certified tomatoes. Colavita San Marzano tomatoes grow in volcanic soils, creating plump fruit that is naturally sweet, juicy, and meaty. The company packages its tomato products with only tomatoes, juice, and citric acid. With a rich ruby red color, very low sodium and sugar, and an authentic tomato taste, the brand comes in hot at number 4. Low price and high quality puts Red Gold tomatoes at 3rd place on our list. The family-owned company began in Indiana in 1942, proving that the state is one of the best places to grow some killer tomatoes.
These other brands, they don't compare to Red Gold.
They do look better.
I know.
Today, the company's line features non-GMO, kosher-friendly, and gluten-free ingredients. The sodium and sugar content are also lower than many other brands. Aside from the attention to detail in crafting the product, the tomatoes taste tangy, fresh, and fruity. The juice and fruit had a bright red color and zesty tomato flavor, making for a delicious meal any day of the week. Mutti canned tomatoes are some of the best we sampled. Still trucking along since 1899, all Mutti tomatoes are grown sustainably from non-GMO seeds in Italy. The Italian brand certified Pomodoro San Marzano balances sweetness and tanginess with a firm texture that practically melted into a marinara sauce. The whole peeled San Marzano tomatoes feature only tomatoes and juice and nothing else. Above all, Mutti delivers a fresh from the vine, flavorful tomato that balances sweet fruitiness with fresh acidity, earning it the number 2 spot on our list. Finally, the top tomato. Italian import Cento tomatoes offer an extensive range of organic and commercial tomatoes, including certified authentic San Marzanos. The brand's ingredient lists are also short, typically featuring only tomatoes.
It actually smells pretty good.
Using puree instead of juice gives the liquid a concentrated flavor and texture, and whole peeled tomatoes released a freshly picked tomato aroma when cracked open. Though San Marzanos are known for having low acidity, they still offered a nice tart bite. More affordable than other brands for the high quality, Cento tomatoes offered a delicious, straight from the garden taste. The flavor alone landed Cento at our number 1.